A stream of consciousness sort of presentation on the hard problems. So David Chalmers has written a lot about this, but I'm going to mostly take Wilber's theories essentially seriously here. That is to say, mostly agree with them. But there are some caveats that hexagonics might make about the hard problems. So, you know, Ken tends to find a position between materialism and dualism. So it's neither or both. It's kind of both in some other way. And very, in line with this kind of non-dualist perspective. Here I'm saying that it is even more than both. It's all six of those major positions at once in some important sense. The primary focus of what I'd call the mind is sort of in the I space, as it were. But all of it is sort of in the I space, especially, I'd say, in this cosmos, if there is any other cosmos. And I kind of postulate that there might in fact be another cosmos that's either transcendent in a time domain from our present cosmos, and that would be potentially one in which there's a shared being, an interbeing experience, and in some ways the experience of time perhaps could be more eternal. So mind would look a little different in that your individual autonomous mind is also part of a larger collective mind, so it's a both-and situation even in that context. And I'm kind of suggesting that we might sort of be in that already, but the primary focus right now is on an individual mind. And that individual mind complexified in sort of a panpsychist way, which is very much in line with Ken's view. It's very panpsychist. That is to say, there's a notion of some level of proto-consciousness within atoms and vital life and reptiles and mammals. And that whole complexification is indeed the complexification of consciousness in this model. And I'm in pretty strong alignment with that. There's this open question, this open door, if Eros is actually a real law, as it were, inherent in the nature of the universe. That is to say, is it really the case that complexification is an inherent nature to reality? And my postulation is that yes, in fact, it might be, and I'm very much in line with how that happens is something I would say kind of transcendent, but it's still very immanent in the same way that Ken would argue. And that gets complicated and difficult to elaborate on in many respects, but that is my position in general.